Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books. And I don't know why I'm nervous about making this video today. I'm never nervous about making videos anymore, except for on my newest channel, which is called Peter Does Stuff, where I just do stuff, I just hang out, you know? And it's very much like a vlogging channel. I always get nervous before I film over there, I don't know why. But today is a special day for me, and I wanted to just make a video, I guess, commemorating it or talking about it, or I don't know. We'll just see where this goes. Anyway, today is my 5-year anniversary on BookTube, which seems incredible to me. It seems crazy that it's been 5 years, and I just feel so honored to be part of the BookTube community, and I have met so many fantastic people. I have met one of the best friends that I've ever had in my entire life, my true crime book club partner, Mel. I would never have met her had it not been for BookTube. I'm forever thankful for that, and I've just met some genuinely just amazing people and had some just really awesome experiences being part of BookTube. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. So, but I wanted to get on here today and talk about that. Talk about what? Talk about my experience on BookTube and just, I don't know, what a cool thing it is that it's been 5 years of my life. You know, it seems strange, you know? People ask you questions like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Or where do you see yourself in 10 years? Had somebody asked me 5 years ago when I sat at that desk right over there, or that table, when I filmed my very first video, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I would never have ever said, well, I'm going to have 6 channels on YouTube, and I'm going to get up every single day, and this is going to be my life, is going to be making videos on YouTube and getting to interact with people and hearing about their life stories and all that. I never in a million years ever saw this as kind of where it would go. I literally could never have seen where the journey was going to take me, which I'm such a believer in putting one foot in front of the other, you know? So if there is something out there that you're passionate about, whether it's starting a YouTube channel or doing theater or, you know, I don't know, just getting a part-time job somewhere or whatever, you know, do it. You know, if you want to start a garden or start to cook, do it, because you never know where it's going to take you, you know? Let me tell you just a brief history of where my BookTube history kind of, how I got on BookTube. So I wrote a book in 2014 called The Before Now and After Them. It's currently out of print. I know it's available on Amazon for like $900, and as much as I love that book and I am proud of it as my first book, I don't think it's worth $900, so please do not buy it. And I don't get any of the proceeds. I don't know who's selling it for $900 on Amazon. But I know that there were people that wanted to read the book or hear the story. So last summer, I read the story in sections over here on this channel, and I had so much fun doing it. And still to this day, people will reach out to me and be like, I just read your book on, or I just heard you read your book on BookTube and I really loved it. So if you haven't heard that, please go check it out. It really meant a lot to me to have that experience on here, and I wanted to do that for anybody that doesn't have access to the book anymore. But I wrote the book in 2014, and at the time, my publisher that I was working with, she suggested to me that I reach out to bookstagrammers and booktubers, which was a world that I did not know existed, okay? I was an avid reader, but I had no idea that this world of BookTube or Bookstagram existed. I had no idea. And I didn't know that there were this whole community of bookish people out there that I could be part of. All I had to do was just say, hey, I'd like to be part of this, you know? I really only have in my life right now, you know, my mom has since passed, and she passed in 2008, and she read mostly nonfiction. In her earlier years, she read a lot of fiction, but later on, she read mostly nonfiction, memoirs, things like that. My dad reads only nonfiction. My stepmom reads fiction, but we read very different fiction. So then there's my, I would say my step friend, my best friend, Tanya Jean, who a lot of people know, and she's been in some videos with me. And she isn't, I mean, she reads a book a day. And we read some things that are similar and some things we read that are very different. So I didn't have many people to talk to about the books that I like to read and about new books that I wanted to find out. And, you know, hey, maybe I'd like to read this book or that book or whatever. So, like I said, my publisher told me to maybe reach out to some booktubers and bookstagrammers to see if they would review my book. So I reached out to a bunch of people, and the way that I found them was I just would get on YouTube and I would put in BookTube. And I started watching a lot of different booktubers. And if you've watched my BookTube channels through the years, you know that I have a lot of favorites, and they're still the same. And I've gotten a lot of new favorites, new people that I've been watching. The last couple weeks, I have been watching Oh, what's the guy's channel? Oh, my phone's over there and I'm like working on a video. But I think his channel is called Supposedly Fun. Anyway, whatever his channel is, he's another gay guy that's about my age. And I love his videos and he's just fantastic. And I will link his channel below. I think it's important to shout out other YouTubers. But anyway, you know, I just always am finding new people that I love to watch. And so I started watching YouTube videos and I thought, I want to be part of this. Like, this is a community. This is something that I want to be part of, right? And I'd always wanted to be part of a book club where you go and talk to people, but I was afraid to go because I have a lot of social anxiety. So I was afraid to go like to a library or a Barnes and Noble or whatever and be part of a book club. So I thought, well, I can sit in the privacy of my own home and film videos and I can do this. And then I won't, you know, be that scared to walk in someplace. So I was sitting right over there. I had actually started my Twitter account for Peter Likes Books and my Instagram, and I knew that I was going to start this, and I had kind of run it by my best friend and my husband, and they were like, oh, you're going to do another project that you're going to do? And I was like, no, but I'm going to stick to this. I really mean it. I'm going to stick to it. And so they were like, well, whatever. They were real supportive of me. And so I sat over there that day, and I was like all like hyped up, ready to make this video. And I've always been super self-conscious of my weight. And I was like, well, maybe if I waited until I lost like 50 or 60 pounds and then I came back on here. And I don't know what it was that day, but I had this thought and I was like, you're not going to come back 50 or 60 pounds from now and make the video. Make it today. This is something that you want to do. Just do it today. So I made my first video. And I go back and I watch it every once in a while just to remind me where I started, you know. And I wouldn't say it's like, I wasn't super scared, but I was nervous. And I can remember posting the video and, you know, it's funny because, you know, if you've ever seen the Miranda Sings show on Netflix, I can't remember what the show is called now, but anyway, she publishes her first video and then she just sits there and she watches and waits for all these people, you know, to start watching her videos. And I think that's what everybody's like with that first video. You think like all of a sudden it's just going to like have like 5 and then 10 and then, you know, and that's just not how it is. And you have to like talk to your friends and family and say, can you go watch my video, please? You know, and put it out on social media. And you have to talk to other booktubers and you have to like get them, you know, go to comment on their videos and say, I just started. And I really think like one of the greatest things for new booktubers is to do like the booktuber newbie tag, because I search those out to find new people. So, you know, that's just where I started. And from there, it just lit this fire, you know, where I got super, super excited. And, you know, through the years, I have just had some amazing experiences on BookTube. I have been introduced to books that, truth, in all honesty, I would never have read unless I had been at Barnes & Noble and it was sitting right there, or half-price books or the library or something, if I hadn't heard YouTubers talking about it, you know. I am forever changed because of books like Dumplin' by Julie Murphy, or The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, or The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. And those were all books, those 3 books specifically, that I heard from other booktubers talking about it. There are a lot of classics that I wouldn't have gone back and read had it not been for that. You know, I got to start a true crime book club, and now I have Peter's book club. I always wanted to be part of a book club, and now I am, you know, and it's the coolest thing in the entire world. And, you know, it just, all of the people that I've met, all of the experiences I've had, it's been such an amazing experience to be over here, you know, and I'm never going to be a booktuber, and I realized this a long time ago. I'm never going to be a booktuber that's getting 20 to 50 to 100,000 views a video, and I don't really care about that, you know? I just feel so privileged and honored to be part of something that is where we're talking about books. You know, I feel so honored to be part of a bookish world, because books have always meant so much to me since I was a very, very little kid. I can remember going to the library, you know, and my mom would say, now you can take out as many books as you want. I come in with this huge stack, and my mom would say, you're not going to read all, yes, Mom, I promise I'm going to read all these books. I'm going to read all these books. And I would take out all these books, you know. And to this day, I still feel that. Like, I go to a bookstore, and it's like I get all these books, and I don't know what I'm going to read. Hell, I got a whole bookshelf over there of books that I haven't read yet, you know. And I think y'all know how much I love Audible. And to start, there's something about reading a synopsis of a book, starting a book, being part of that world, being introduced to new characters, learning about them, going on their journey with them, and then being there for that whole process, and that you'll remember that for the rest of your life, you know? There's something very cool about that. I think, like, you know, I can't imagine my life. There's a line in the movie, Terms of Endearment, when Deborah Winger, she's just gotten married and she's moving to this new house with her husband. And she says, can you imagine if you met somebody that doesn't like books? You know, my husband's not a reader, and it's never been like this issue between us. It's funny because he just had to read a book for work, and he was like struggling we just went out of town for the weekend, and he was like really struggling, like getting through his book, you know? And I said, well, do you want me to get you the Audible copy for it? And so I got him the Audible copy, and he like went along with the book, like listening to it on Audible. And he was like, that was really enjoyable. Like, I understand why you like listening to Audible now, you know? I think for me, it kind of feels like somebody's reading to me. I also pay attention a lot more on Audible than I do just reading a book. But man, there's nothing like getting a book out and, you know, reading it. And, you know, it's funny because some small things that don't seem important to other people that are really important to us bookish people have really changed through the years, you know. When I first started on Booktube and years before that, I really felt like I would say, you know, books are our friends. We use bookmarks. We don't bend pages and stuff. And now I don't feel like that. You know, I don't know what's changed in the last couple years. But now I'm really big on like dog-earing pages and bending back the cover and really using a book and really looking at it and being like, yeah, I was there, like I read this book, you know? And the other thing was that I used to feel like I needed to collect books, like I needed to just have tons and tons of books. I don't feel like that anymore, you know? I like to read a book that I enjoy and then give it away to somebody, you know, give it away to a friend, or books that have always been favorites of mine. Now I can always go and buy it again, you know, and say, hey, you go enjoy this. Enjoy it like I did. There's a few books that I keep that I will always keep, you know? This experience of being on Booktube, and I'm not going anywhere, but this experience of being on Booktube has just been fantastic, you know? And it just opened this door to a world on YouTube that I never expected. One of the things that I have seen recently in the last, you know, year or two is that a lot of Booktubers that started when they were young, their channels are now transitioning and they're doing things like lifestyle blogging, you know, and they're doing all kinds of fun stuff on their videos and their YouTube channels, and their channels aren't just Booktube channels anymore. And I think that's such an amazing thing, you know, that you can do whatever you want to do, you know. I know a lot of people think it's funny that I have 6 channels, but it's because I love it so much, you know, and that all started with me sitting down on that one video over there. You never know where something's going to take you. So thank you for allowing me to be part of this community, and thanks for being along with me during the journey, and I love you guys, and I'm not going anywhere. So here's to 5 years. I love you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.